All right, Vice President Kamala Harris went on The View today talking about what the Biden administration is going to do if they win another 4 years, but she also fiercely defended a woman's right to make her own reproductive choices. Here's some of that conversation.
Let's talk a little bit about how you're going to go after the other side. Sure. Because some heavy-hitting Democrats are sounding the alarm behind closed doors. President Obama reportedly has said that he thinks the Biden campaign is too complacent when it comes to Trump. Representative Jim Clyburn has said the campaign isn't breaking through the MAGA wall. Michelle Obama says she's terrified, as we are, about the potential outcome of the election. Now, are you scared, first of all, what could happen if Trump ever became, God forbid, president again? And what are you going to do to stop the crazies?
I am scared as heck.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm traveling our country. You know, there's an old saying that there are only two ways to run for office, either without an opponent or scared. So on all of those points, yes, we should all be scared.
Yeah.
But as we know, and certainly this is a table of very powerful women, we don't run away from something when we're scared. We fight back against it.
That's right.
So many of us know when we are scared for the future of our children, do we then stay in bed with the covers over our head?
Nope.
No.
We can't.
We can't.
Cannot.
We cannot.
No.
And this is where this election requires, brightly, that President Biden and I and all of us who are part of this administration, we got to earn re-election. There is no question. We got to be on the road. Listen, in the last 2 weeks, I've been to Georgia, I've been to Nevada, I've been to North Carolina, I've been to South Carolina twice in the first 2 weeks of this year. I will be out on the road. We have to earn the re-elect, and we have to communicate what we have achieved.
Yes.
And that is going to be one of our big challenges. We've done a lot of good work. We need to let people know who brung it to them.
These are obviously going to be important places to go to, and I dare say, Joy, they have to be completely aggressive. We talked about it. I completely disagree with Jamie Dimon. I think you got to call it for like it is. You've got to say what these people want to do. You got to talk about how Trump wants to attack everyone. He wants to use the Department of Justice to target it. He's already said he will use the IRS to investigate and audit his enemies. He's already said the FCC, he's pretty stupid on this one, how the FCC should pull the licenses of MSNBC and CNN because they did not carry his speech the night of the Iowa caucuses. He's too dumb to understand that the FCC has no jurisdiction over cable television. They only have jurisdiction over broadcast licenses, and that's ABC, NBC, CBS, and those broadcast channels. And so they have to be absolutely aggressive and leave everything on the field and hit him with everything, because he's already proven you cannot dance with the devil. He is pure evil. You must call it what it is.
As my grandmother said, if you let the devil ride, he'll want to drive. We literally have to cut it off. We have him because we appeased him and we let it go on too far before. So what you're seeing is cable companies making an independent decision not to carry him because of all the lies. He can't keep up. If he would tell the truth, he would be aired. End of story. What I loved about what Kamala Harris, my soror, was doing on The View today, she was really talking not about Donald Trump. Yes, that's where the conversation partly was, but it was also about what the Biden-Harris administration has been doing for the American people, will be doing for the American people if you give them another opportunity. And she's saying, we're going to fight for you, and that we have to finish the job, and that we've done things for you already, and we care enough, we respect you enough to tell you about those things so that you can not just go out and vote against Donald Trump, although that would be reason enough, but you can actually go out and vote for something. If you like the way the economy is going, maybe not the way it is right now, but where it's heading, you have to then have some consistency and have an administration, a president and a vice president who put you first. Jamie Dimon is a joke. He is wrong today. He's a classic example of why you can't let everybody in the barbecue, as we did years ago. We tried to act like he is one of
I don't
but
know.
he is not.
I don't know who did that. Wasn't me. Robert, go ahead.
Well,
This is part of the issue that President Trump was in court today for raping a woman. The judge has found and put into the previous order Donald Trump raped Eugene Carroll. Now, the statute of limitations ran, so they found a civil judgment under survivor statute for sexual assault of Eugene Carroll. But it does not deny or belie the underlying fact that Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, who's currently running for president of the United States, raped a woman. That should be the 3-second ad that the DNC plays about 35 times a day on pretty much every single outlet known to mankind. Are we going to elect a rapist to be the president of the United States? And if you think that's dirty or underhanded, think about what that means to survivors of sexual assault, who have to look at somebody who will stand there and not just rape a woman, not just be found guilty of sexual assault, but then make fun of her, laugh at her, go on a CNN town hall and belittle her, say she's lying. And if the Democrats and the president aren't willing to make an issue out of that, then they don't deserve to win. And this is my issue with the president's campaign. They seem they're on autopilot or cruise control, and they're just assuming that Donald Trump will be in jail. Don't count on anybody else to beat the other team for you. You get out there and you win the race. If you're not willing to put in the work to do so, no one else is going to be able to do it for you.
Rebecca.
Well, just like Joy said, our sorority sister, Vice President Kamala Harris, and happy belated Founders Day to all the AKAs out there. Look, she's a good campaigner, and Joe Biden lucked out because Joe Biden, in my opinion, is very bad on the campaign trail. And what's also very lucky for Joe Biden is that Republicans very foolishly has made reproductive rights rights to access to healthy and safe abortions a voting issue in 2024. So now we have a woman vice president who's crisscrossing the country, reminding women, especially in states like Ohio, where we saw a Black woman the other week who was on trial because she had a miscarriage. And she was potentially being charged with doing something to an unborn child because her body rejected the pregnancy. We have a vice president who is a woman who could crisscross the country talking about those things. And that's very powerful in 2024 when Republicans have elevated this issue into a voting issue. So I say Joe Biden is lucky because people are feeling better about their personal economy. People are feeling good about the overall economy. And Republicans are going back to culture wars, and a specific culture war around abortion access that they're not going to win with women. We do need women to turn out to vote. We need Republican women, we need Democratic women, we need nonpartisan women to turn out to vote. And what's going to be really interesting when they turn out to vote, and if abortion is on the ballot, they're going to break for the candidate, which is the vice president in this case, who supports access to abortion rights. Why? Because Vice President Kamala Harris is a good campaigner out on the campaign trail, and she's able to connect to the key constituents who are caring about these number 1 and 2 voting issues in the country right now.
And actually, to that particular point, the Republicans better listen to even that airhead, Kayleigh McEnany, who was on Fox, and she actually echoed what you just said. Listen.
Fascinating, and I'll get to abortion in just a moment, but I disagreed with almost everything she said in this interview. I will say it was one of her better interviews when it came to style. She's been clearly doing some sort of media training, and she's been deployed to hit 3 buckets. Progressives, where she has more credibility than Joe Biden. She did that today. She talked about Israel and Gaza. Young people, she's been going to campuses. She hit that today in this interview. She talked about, she literally said, I love Gen Z. I love Gen Z, kept bringing up student loans. And then women. She's on a show whose audience is mainly women. You just saw it. She brought up abortion again and again and again. Even when she was given low-hanging fruit, she was asked about January 6th and 91 indictments against Trump. She pivoted right back to abortion because she knows what is true, which is the GOP has lost every single abortion ballot initiative post-Roe, every single one. Ohio, Kansas, not only that, record turnout. Vox, more Kansas voted on abortion referendum than in any primary election in Kansas history. New York Times, twice as many people voted on Ohio measure that cast ballots in primaries for governor, Senate, and House. She knows abortion ballot initiatives will be on 10 states at least and swing states. So she wants to drive young women to the polls. This is why I've implored the GOP, as someone who is pro-life myself and adamantly so, speak from a place of compassion, which I've been watching Governor Ron DeSantis. He talks about hearing his daughter's heartbeat. And not only that, speak to be pro-mother, not just pro-baby, pro-mother. And Governor DeSantis, his last interview, he said, I made child care products tax-free in the state of Florida. I am going to be an advocate for maternal health care. We as a party must
Girl, bye. It ain't nothing compassionate about Ron DeSantis. You lost your damn mind. All right, y'all.